Hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews, and this is a weird yet sort of oddly themed 4th of July weekend review. So happy Independence to a upside down sometimes country of mine. So yeah, I'll try my best not to be political here. So, which is hard because I'm doing a GI Joe review. So and let me know in the comments. That being said, I got some figures on the side. I'm going to do side by side comparisons with Recondo from the Tiger Force line from G.I. Joe Classified. So my bad in advance for any mispronunciations on the Action Force side of things. We actually have Connor here in a minute to do side-by-sides with this figure. So I did promise some old internet lore about me and stuff I used to watch early on pre having a channel here. And yeah. Sorry for the ice cream, truck in the back. Long story short, summer's going to summer here, and I'm going to have to work through it. So, that over there is the Retro 3/4 scale, I want to say, of the same figure of the classic series back in the 80s. However, I knew it back in the day as Jungle from Action Figure Therapy. So, yeah, the guy's got a long history of just being a weird dude. Long story short there. I'll go to the last current link he had was when Tiger King was coming out. Yeah, that doc of all docs. So, starting off the top with the actual now, years later figure of the character. This is the Tiger Force era of him. I do love the pants. I think there's some reuse here from, I don't really know who. It's not from Outback. I could tell you that some of the padding is definitely different. The knee pads are definitely different as well. And since we're here side-by-side comparison-wise on an action pose, they're not bad. I'm gonna be honest. The backpacks are clearly different. Let me just get his out right while we're here. His has more travel and jungle environmental stuff from what I've read on the Joe Wiki on that one. So if you see the link, that's probably why. Yeah, and this is Outback's backpack. I have definitely slightly modified it with not really, just found some old accessories that plug in just fine to do the old JDX lore of it back in I think like late this year, I want to say. Closing out on that. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to make a definitive out for this character, but side by side now as just Joe's, they're actually not bad. The face sculpt's pretty good. I love this figure, just letting you know now. One last side by side. Let's go with the opposite sex side of things. This is Helix that I also used in the Real Nerf Future Retro lore. And yeah, also you could tell I gave her some extra accessories. I think this is the plasma stuff from Commando Spawn and I think regular Spawn. The MP5 is from the Action Force, I think weapons kit. So yeah, basic stuff. And also side by side with the machetes are about the same. So let's get to how to plug it all in. So there are not as much gummy than you think would be on the machete, mostly on the blade, not really much on the hilt. How they really ported it is pretty interesting. They had a nice little slit here in the holster that I'm trying to, there we go, gets in there just fine and slots in pretty good. If it looks like you're cutting it, it's not. That's actually how it's meant to be. It's a little not as floaty. It's more thigh strapped pretty tight than I thought it would. The gun holster is on a strap on the chest, and I think it's a modern pistol. Again, I think the Tiger Force era of these characters are supposed to have modern equipment, and looking at the pistol, yep, pretty modern. The only thing that's not really modern on the equipment is the the M16 right here. Or is it M14? I don't reel still as much. I know this is definitely a G.I. Joe figure, given how way gummy it is on the front of the barrel. There's some jungle tape on it, I guess, to keep it up the original character's name. At least is my association with Recondo. Going back to the backpack, compared to Outback's over here, it is the most sturdy out of the Joe backpacks. I think it's sturdier than, I want to say, the Cobras. Bit of a 50-50 measure on that. The only thing is, I thought that would be the most gummy would ironically be the hat, but it ports in pretty good. The flap, fold on it is very molded in. You could unplug it out or probably kit bash it. I don't really know. While we got the hat off, the photo reel on the face is very bristled. Like, you could definitely tell this is a very thick stash in person. Not a lot of old guy hairs like you would see in Outbacks, so there's not a lot of tampoing detail there. However, it is a very veiny trigger finger guard hands as well. We got ab crunch. The head tilt is about the same. I think there's a faux neck joint. Yes, there is. And most G.I. Joe figures have, get the back down, a drop down hip, which I actually, again, would love to see for Marvel Legends figures going forward. There is double knees, and so close to kicking his own butt. So, yeah. Overall, ankle rockers, there is a boot cut, I think here. I think there might be a side thigh swivel somewhere. Yeah, there is. Because that's pretty much the diagram for most Joes. So before closing out the video, I'm going to do side-by-side comparisons with most of the Joes I have with their original accessories. I want to keep it Joe-themed, if anything else. Let's going to get Outback here. And yeah, like I said earlier, this is a very on-the-nose, I want to say even height, given how long in the service they are. I don't know Tiger Force lore of this version of the character, so please let me know in the comments down below, or give me any wikis or any of the IDW comics, or just, I don't know, maybe the old 80s cartoons to give me an idea when this wave of the toys were coming out back then. So, like I said, here's Helix again, with her canon stuff. I'm going to try my best to give her the most neutral pose to go with the guys here, and about the same. Again, the katanas are kind of the only thing that's holding her a little taller, even lengthwise, with Recondo. So with that said, last size comparisons before we get the final judgments. To, I guess, sub in for Action Force. Captain Carter from the What If wave, if her boots are back on point. Nope. Gonna need an assist. And assist in hand. And Connor, I think this is the early wave Connor. I know he had some updates as time went on for Action Force. And that having been said, his boots are still, wow, stable. Yeah, I don't know where Recondo was in the Action Force lore for the character. Again, I'm going to go to the wiki on that one. For what I remember of the character proper, when I found some lore videos, last cards there, if anything, is that he did do jungle trekking and a lot of I guess not leading, that's not a word, just travel guide through terrain of jungles and stuff like that. So I wasn't entirely off with his namesake action figure therapy lore wise, but regular Joe wise, he was just a guy that was a guy that tried to get the Joes in and out. And if he had any helicopter experience, which was most of the figure, I think the figure vehicles back in the day, was probably because, again, same thing, his guidemanship, just basically a guy to bug out with, if anything. So, my overall thoughts with the figure, I think I said this best on my Insta. This is kind of one of those one just for me kind of things. Don't expect to have a real Nerf lore character. If anything, I'll probably just put him in, I guess, in the same kind of jurisdiction with my real Nerf equivalent of the Action Force stuff with Captain Carter over here for, whenever she gets a new solo book or whatever, and he'll just guide her into another objective or some stuff like that. Very military jargon focused, my bad, advance for my non-military favorite fans out here. I understand, I get where you're going. At the same time, this is a decent figure. The sculpts are pretty good, the pouches are fun. I don't see that much reuse on the pouches. The big difference is obviously the machete holster. That's kind of the big draw versus Outback over here. You can definitely tell they're in the same kind of unit. You can definitely tell that they're uniform language is definitely terrain and outside of Cobra enemy line kind of stuff back in that time of the comics or whatever version of the Tiger Force lore you guys were associated with. Me personally, I never read the comics, never watched much of the cartoons. I only saw one clip of him in the cartoons just to see if he was actually a canon character for research purposes for this review, and I'm happy to say, yeah, he was kind of a thing. He's very subdued versus his action figure therapy version of the character, so that's really up to you to which version you want. And as of this recording, I think his classics figure showed up online. I don't know where exactly. If anything, check your local Targets or Amazons if you want that version of the character. I should have got that because that's more in line to what Jungle is, to me at least, on the action figure therapy lore. However, that having been said, it's still a good figure. I like the coloring more. Something about the Action Force colors pop more than I think the classics at the time. I don't know exactly what branch of military he was trying to be symbolized, because GI Joes were a symbolization of multiple branches of the military, stuff like that. Again, go to anyone who's done lore in the cartoons over the years. They'll tell you a lot better factoids about these guys than I'm trying to do. So as a retro kid reviews character, 0 out of 10. Sorry to say, like I said, this is one of those one for me kind of figures that I get to actually have fun with. I know, what a thought. But if I had time to do a character with him, like I said, I'd probably put him with Agent Carter, make it more like a liaison kind of type, if anything, some old division in my character's long everlasting lore that I wish I had time to write down, honestly. For the figure itself, it's a solid 8. The double jointed knees and elbows are about good. I think this is mostly pinless. I can barely not even tell where the pins begin and where the pinless starts, so that's a good on for Hasbro. The big plus for me is the hat and the backpack are the most stable I have seen, but I have said that with Outback, so it might change in the next couple of months, so who really knows. Overall, if you have any memory of this character, if you grew up watching the old cartoons and stuff like that, pick him up. If only you want the classic version or this, buyer's choice on your end, honestly. As for me, as somebody who just remembered him as Jungle in action figure therapy, it's a good little bit of the 2010s nostalgia for me, not really actual 80s nostalgia. So again, it's really up to you which version of the character you've seen it as. And I don't know, it's a good pickup. I think it was going on $30 at my local comic shop, so it was pretty much dead on to I think what the original price was when that was out last year. So again, that's really up to you. Final thoughts. It's a good pickup. Again, it's an acquired version of the character. You have to be a really big ride or die kind of completionist for G.I. Joe characters to get this version of the character. And with that all being said, go to this hand over here to close out the video, and obviously end cards coming up to my previous review over here, to The Boys Season 4, the first couple episodes. Go to my black screen here. Yeah, they really wants me to wrap it up. To my shorts playlist for when I was announcing the news of what was going on with Ruby finally getting saved by Viz Media. And until probably a certain retro review I've been needing to do in honor or theme for Deadpool this month. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, yeah, we're so doing it. You'll know in the community post later this week. This is Retrokid Review saying, I love my job, reviewing these figures and stuff like that. And probably the only time I'm going to be doing a Jungle voice. So till then, take care, subscribe, and yeah, Retro out.